Alright, here goes nothing. We're gonna try streaming. We're gonna see how that goes. So I'm gonna just do a little patch from scratch, see if I can get something out of this that, you know, sounds good or has a sound at all. So we'll see how this goes. Sorry if there's some noise here. I'm still trying to figure out where the best place to put the mic is, and that's definitely not it. I guess I'll just mute my mic until I can actually get a mic stand. So I'm just going to mute the mic, but I'm just going to start patching from scratch. And yeah, let's go. Device. There we go. That should do it. Let's get some. I mean, you're the only.
Well, it says there's two, so I think that's you and me.
Oh, there's two? I might mean that someone else is in, actually, because I do not count. Nice.
Three.
You have more people in, I guess. Okay. Let's get some noise out. Do you like being on stream? All right.
There's a third.
All right, we're getting some sound. That's what that was. Cool. Awesome. I think I've found a start to something. I have no idea. Or not, I have no idea. This is not at all what I want. Generally, things to sound is very noisy and crazy, and I generally go for softer things. So let's. I'm gonna try to mess around a little bit with. I'm gonna take clouds out of the equation for now. Sorry if there's a lot of mic noise as well. There's I don't have a mic. I literally don't own a mic stand. So I'm just kind of making do with what I have. I'm gonna bring my volume down a little bit. So generally, how I go about stuff like this is I kind of let marbles do its thing, and I kind of find a place that I like. that's pretty nice. I'm gonna bring the tempo down a little bit. And adjust my envelope. Close my filter up a little bit. I'm gonna change my voice actually to that, to the, yeah. It's just got a nicer timbre to it. Yeah. So I'm running through, you can see it on screen, this EHX pitchfork, because I'm just running a mono patch. I don't have the money to try to get into polymodular just at this point. As you can see, I don't have money to even get the output modules yet. They're in my Sweetwater shopping cart, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But I'm going to. That's the next purchase for the rack. Yeah, I like this. I like this noise that I kind of have going on right now. So I'm gonna start bringing in clouds. So I think my issue is I just have a lot of feedback going on. Yep, that immediately changed everything. So now it's just kind of running like a super grainy delay, which I like. I really like that actually. I'm gonna make the size of the grains a little smaller and a little less dense. Yeah. Because I really like this sound. I'm going full on the mix here. It's actually really nice. I like that. I think I'm gonna freeze. I'm gonna freeze this. So this is generally kind of my starting point, or at least it was for a good portion of like how I would create music with just a modular. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can punch a little more gain in on the modular. Thank you for the heads up on that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. So I like this. I like this so far. I'm gonna start scrubbing the buffer. You know what? I'm gonna fix a little bit of my patching. What I usually end up doing is I end up taking a lot of my modulation just comes from the random voltage source on the marbles, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to duplicate that same random voltage source, because I kind of want this whole thing to kind of change all together, if that makes sense. So I'm taking the buffer mults from out here, and I'm gonna, let's see, so I'm gonna have this one start to scrub the buffer position. I'm gonna drown that in a little more reverb. There you go. So I still want everything to kind of change together, but I want the filter to change a little less, so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna patch just a little bit of slower movement. Oh, is there a delay on my voice? I didn't even... There might be, I don't know why that is, but I'll figure that out. Thank you for that heads up there. I might have accidentally connected different audio. Yep, it looks like I have mic audio. There we go. This should fix everything there. Thank you for that heads up. Because this is my first time streaming, and I clearly don't know what I'm doing.
It's still echoing.
Alright, I think I should have totally fixed all of the echo issues. So what happens when I have so many input devices that I'm running from. I have my laptop for if I have any face cam stuff. I have my iPhone doing the main streaming, and then I also have the actual mixer interface that everything's running through, and probably just forgot to mute one of those three. or all of them, who's to say? But yeah, I like this. I like how this sounds right now. This is what I'd call a nice little starting place. I'm gonna see if I see where else I can go with this. I think I'm gonna try to. Thank you. Glad you enjoy the sounds. I think I'm gonna try to mess with clouds a little bit and just kind of work with the octaves. So I'm gonna run through my quantizer and punch that into the volt per octave. Yeah. Okay, that's a little extreme though. That is. I wish I had more. Oh, I do. I can just use the VCA as the. This is why you can't have too many VCAs. I'm just gonna use a VCA as a not what it's meant to be, but I'm gonna use it as just a. I can't. Why am I losing attenuator? I'm just gonna use the amplifier as an attenuator here. So punch that in. Take the out there. That's a lot. I love these little 2 HP modules, but getting to the knobs is the most frustrating thing because all I have are these. I have all these cables which are twice the size of the actual knob, and they're all surrounding it. I need to do some rearranging in the case. I just did some deep cleaning yesterday, took it out, brushed out the whole thing, but Yeah, I need to do some substantial rearranging, but I'm not quite sure where I want the module, where I want the modular to go. If I want to go for like try packing in more voices or packing in more modulation. Start adding a little bit of. Let's modulate that density a little bit, bring in a little more. I am happy with the case. I really like it, actually. Ooh, it's a lot of density. That was a. Maybe I'll bring the density down before I patch that up. But yeah. Yes, I'm very happy with the case. Actually, it's. I just like the fact that it has the mults built in, because I'm like so. I mean, clearly I'm already using them all the time. Like, they are the most important thing. I've had these patches, these massive patches, with just this case and an O-Coast, and I've used every single molt and one of those little like passive molt cable things that came free with a module, and like they're it's great. I love this thing. I really like. As I said, I kind of. That was a lot of density showing up. Oh, that explains it. That explains so much. I've been trying to adjust my blend, but I've been on the reverb mode. But yeah, it's like, I love the IntelliGel 1U modules. I say that I only ever owned this one and the scope, but I really want to get a whole thing full of the. I want to get the output module, and then I'm also looking at getting the pedal line in and out. Yeah, I've been looking at a disting. I'm legitimately like debating. Didn't they just come out with a Mark V, or they're about to come out with a Mark V of the disting? It looks very cool. I really want one of those. I'm just so picky with, like, I don't know. I came from the guitar world, and so like whenever you hear like multi-effects, your brain goes to like these. Ooh, that's a nice noise. Whenever you hear multi-effects, your brain goes to these like cheap Digitech whatever, like starter pedals that cost like $70 and they're probably worth $40, and they just that like, I know that's not always true. I've had plenty of great multi-effects units that I've used over the years, but I'm so stuck in this world of, oh, your multi-effects unit is like, it's gonna be worse, even though I know that's not true, and especially with something like modular, where especially if you're using it for like LFO sources or something like that, it's like it's gonna be what it has to be in that moment, but that's still like in the back of my head. So every time I see one, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, but I'm probably gonna get one thing that does a specific thing instead, which, you know, sucks because I end up spending more money than I need to. But, you know, it's all in the journey for me. So I definitely want to get a disting at some point in the future. I'm also thinking of stripping out the quantizer just because I usually use the built-in quantizer in the marbles. Thinking of stripping that out and getting the getting a maths there. Thank you that you think the setup's cool. Glad you do. But yeah, I'm thinking of putting a maths in here because obviously it can do 100 things, and they're all very cool and very useful. But I don't know. I'm also like wondering if I should get like a. I've been looking at the 2 HP bell, and just getting the just because it's like a fully formed voice, and like I love the rings style thing, but I just like bell sounds more. Like I love like a kalimba or something like that. So I think I'm gonna get a bell in here, but I'm kind of running low on power space back here already. That's the one downside if you're looking at a palette case, is you're gonna be stuck in these places where let me bring down that CV. If you're looking at a palette case, it is pretty limited on its power and its depth. So those are two things that like I would watch out. Is like there's especially like these 2 HP modules, their PCB boards are all on their sides. So you're gonna, you really have to watch that depth on Modular Grid. Yeah, I really want a maths. It seems to be like, I mean, it's obviously like the most popular module ever, and I feel like I could use it really well just because I like this little ADSR. It's fine, but I really like these. I'm not sure. The one thing that I want to know with maths is if you're using it as an envelope, can you still get kind of these more like, because I've seen it used so often in like industrial style patches or something that's more like straight up techno, and it has these really snappy, gnarly, nasty attacks. And like those are so cool and I love those, but just it's not the type of music I'm generally making. So I'm wondering if it does something a little more, because anytime I've ever seen a demo for it, it's usually someone like, it's usually someone using it in like a much more intense scenario, and it seems to be really great at that, and I'm sure it would be good at the ambient thing, but yeah, that's the thing, it's just attack decay, so, which is fine, because usually that's all I'm playing around with, like if you can see, my sustain is barely up at all, my decay is up. The thing I'm really going to miss is that release, because I mean, you can hear it right now. It just kind of falls away, and I really like that. So I would probably have to keep them both in the case, but I don't. It's so tight that means that I wouldn't be able to. I'd have to lose this VCA and get a. I'd have to lose the VCA if I were to try to get another voice module in, and kind of only have the one dual VCA, and you kind of need those things. I do love the IntelliGel like tile VCA, but it doesn't have a control knob on it, so it's kind of like you really have to like set your CV before you go in. You have to like attenuate it before the point of contact. Anyway, I've been rambling. I'm gonna kind of fall back into the patch a little bit. See where it's going. So I have some effects off to the side, which are just barely in frame, most of them. So let's have some fun with some dreamy sounds. I'm very happy with how this sounds right now. I really wish that so I'm recording this through a Tascam Porta 1. I'm using that as like a mixer, which is like super great, and I use it like it's amazing. It's got these great preamps. You can drive them so that things get really dirty. It's like it's wonderful. It's one of the coolest things that I've ever seen in a mixer before, or not that I've ever seen in a mixer, but just like it's old technology and it works, and like I love that it's got these nice, you can pan everything from in it. It's got some real basic EQs. I love it. It's great, and it has an onboard like 4-track cassette recorder, which is so cool. So I can get two, like, stereo side A, side B, or do it as a full 4-track, which is awesome. But it's been giving me some problems. It's always had this problem where like the playhead will kind of get stuck, and I have to open up the back, and it's like I have to like undo everything from. I it just gets, the playhead gets stuck, and I have to go in the back and like manually press it down. And it, just as I was about to start today, it redid itself like that, and so I'm gonna. So usually I would take what I'm doing right now and I would like resample it into the tape. Yeah, actually, this is great because I just saw your question there. If I overdub in a DAW, or do I prefer to use the synth as a standalone instrument? I don't try to use the synth as a standalone instrument usually. Usually I like to accentuate it with other things, but I'm not good at working in my DAW. I've always had a lot of trouble. Again, I came from like, or I still am in a guitar background. My main gig is usually in pop bands, post-rock bands, emo bands, anything like that. So my main thing is like, I play guitar and I sing, and I can't really, I don't know, I've always had trouble like getting like digital with it. So like I hate programming drums for like any demos and stuff like that. So I don't really work in the box at all, except for like a quick mastering or mixing thing, you know? So I generally like to do everything live, as much as possible. So occasionally I'll do like some basic overdubs. In my first record, like I made like a loop, and then not a loop, but like I made like a really long recording, and then I just did a quick overdub with the Oko synthesizer I have. So that's like as much as I'll generally do, though. I like to capture it all live. So what's great about this thing is it has 4 inputs, so usually I'll set up a loop, like a tape loop or something, and then I will live go in there after the fact. Or not after the fact, but I'll go in there live with the modular, and I'll just find a way that the two can play off of each other for a little bit. And I've always been a fan of like looping, even before I like knew about tape looping and stuff like that. Like I loved taking looper pedals and setting up loops with guitar things and then just playing off of them for hours and hours and hours. So I kind of like taking that same principle here, which is why I really like Marbles, because it's different. It lets me lock in these loops, which is so cool, and so it gives me that looper functionality, which I generally find lacking with synthesizers, because I am terrible at going in and programming out a sequence, and then getting it to work correctly. So like this just kind of repeats its own sequence, and then I can just slowly let it evolve itself, which I really like. So generally when writing, I'm coming through with I'll generally like let this offer ideas to complement a tape loop, which is a lot of fun. Maybe next time I stream, I'll have the tape working, and I can kind of show how that usually goes down. Yeah, it's been fun. I've kind of taken a little bit of a break from using the modular. Just, you know, everything in the world is going insane, and I was able to like channel a lot of those ideas just as things started changing in the world. I was able to really channel those ideas through this YouTube channel, and then I ended up putting out a record, which I didn't really advertise on the channel because I'm not good at that. But it's called Fragile. It's on all streaming, and it's under my name, Ben Wilson. So, but it was a collection mostly of like stuff I had put out on YouTube that had just kind of ended up soundtracking a lot of what was happening. It's music not about the world right now, but it's music that was created in the world as it happened, and I think that it turned into something which I really enjoyed, and so like I put that out and just shared it with like family and friends, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. And then I kind of I was kind of done for a little bit, and this is probably one of the first times since I put the record out not the first time, but one of the first times where I've just sat down and played around and made something fun, you know? Because that's what this is. Like, I spend so much time gigging with just various different bands, and I kind of needed something that was like less structured and something I could do on my own pace. And then suddenly the world shifted to no gigging and no other bands, and at least for the time being. And so it suddenly became about what I'm doing here, which is cool, and I really like that. But it just, you know, it's different, and it like I got a little overwhelmed with like, oh, this is my creative outlet now, and so I put the record out, and then I took some time away. But it feels good. It feels good to be playing with stuff again, and it feels good to randomly go live on YouTube and have a couple people show up and talk to me. That's super cool. I haven't said thank you to anybody for tuning in yet, but wow, thank you for, you know, I didn't advertise this at all, and you guys just showed up, and that's so cool. So I think I've talked enough, and I've come to a point that I like with how this sounds. So I think I'm just gonna let this play for a little bit. I'm gonna leave it be. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll probably let this run for a couple more minutes, let it evolve and do its own thing, and then close out the stream. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and yeah, I'm gonna try to stream more consistent. I'm gonna probably jump on again tomorrow, just, you know, because I'm off tomorrow. I'm not, you know, I'm not working, so I can, especially now that I've got this whole setup figured out, for the most part. So, but I'll try to stream basically as often as possible. I don't have a schedule plan yet, but pretty much whenever I'm off, I'm hoping to do that. So thank you guys again for showing up, and we'll play us out with some modular goodness. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll be probably back tomorrow and whenever I can through the next week. Have a good day.